Good morning, students. Already we discussed certain ideas of electrostatics. Basically, we studied about electric field, electric potential in electrostatics. In continuation to this, we are going to discuss a new concept called capacitors today. Capacitors. What is a capacitor? Generally, we may observe a cylindrical shaped object. Cylindrical shaped object means it is like this. A small object which is in the form of cylinder just above the head of the fan. And we may observe the same cylindrical object just above the head of a motor. What is the purpose of this cylindrical object? This cylindrical object is called capacitor. What is the purpose of this? Let us understand. Generally, where do we store water in our house? We store water in water tank. Similarly, to store electric charge or electrostatic energy, to store electric charge or electrostatic energy, we use a device called a capacitor. So capacitor is a device which is used to store electric charge or electrostatic energy. Similarly, as we are storing water in water tank, we are storing electric charge here. What is the purpose of doing this? Let us understand. In order to start the motion of a motor or a fan against inertia, it is very difficult. Enormous amount of energy is required to start the motion. So whatever energy you stored in the capacitor will be given instantaneously. That instantaneous energy provided by the capacitor starts the motion of a fan or a motor. So capacitor is a device which is used to store electric charge or electrostatic energy, which will be given instantaneously to start the motion of a fan or a motor in the beginning against inertia. There are different types of capacitors available. So before knowing to understand the definition of capacitor, let us say what is capacity and what is the principle behind the production of capacitor. Generally, how to store the objects? Object can be stored on a plate. Similarly, if I take a metal plate, this metal plate is capable to hold certain amount of charge, either positive charge or negative charge. As the charge on the plate increases, the potential over the plate also increases. As the charge on the plate increases, if you are increasing Q, the potential over the plate also increases. In order to remove the proportionality, I need to keep a constant of proportionality here. Let C is the constant of proportionality. You can write C is equal to Q by V. This constant of proportionality is called capacitance of the conductor. Here we have taken a metal plate. Metal plate means a conductor or conductor. Every conductor is having a capability to hold the charge. The charge holding capability is called its capacity. What is capacity? Capacity means charge holding tendency. Charge holding tendency is called capacity. As you increase the charge, the potential over the plate increases. What do you mean by potential? In order to bring some another charge onto this plate, you need to do some work. The work done is called potential. As the charge on the plate increases, you need to do more and more work to introduce additional charge onto the plate. So potential increases in proportion to the charge. The proportionality constant is called capacity of the conductor. And you know that charge is measured in coulombs. Voltage is measured in volts. Coulomb per volt is the unit for capacitance. It is also named as farad. on the name of scientist Michael Faraday, a unit is introduced for capacitance. The unit is called Farad. If you want to define Farad, let us increase the potential over the metal plate to 1 volt. In order to increase the potential here, you need to add some more charge over here. Whenever the potential over the conductor rises to 1 volt, then what will happen to C? C becomes Q. So, in order to provide 1 volt potential over a conductor, how much charge you are giving, that itself is the capacitance of the conductor. One plate is enough to hold certain amount of charge. You cannot give enormous amount of charge onto it. It is having its own capacity to hold certain charge. If you want to increase the capacitance of this conductor, what to do? Let us understand. Already I am having a conductor. I provided certain charge onto the conductor. It got saturation. It is not capable to hold some additional charge. That's why I am introducing one more metal plate, which is a neutral. Neutral means no charge is available on this metal plate, which is having similar dimensions with the original plate. If I keep this metal plate at certain separation D, a small separation D, what will happen? Due to electrostatic induction, an opposite charge is induced over here. How you get negative charge here? Whatever electrons, free electrons available in the metal plate, they will come on to this side because of the positive charge. Once all the electrons are coming this side, other side of the plate gets positive charge. Due to the presence of opposite charge here, it will allow some additional charge to stay back on the original plate. That's why whenever we keep a similar plate very nearer to that, due to electrostatic induction, opposite charge is induced over here. This opposite charge will allow further deposition of charge onto this first plate. Further deposition of charge onto the first place. That's why capacitance of the conductor gets increased. But accidentally what happened? As negative is induced here, positive is induced on the other side. This positive will not support the incoming positive charge here. So, you want to remove this positive charge. In order to remove this positive charge, you should attach it to the ground. This is the symbol. You connect a conductor from this metal plate to the ground. This is the symbol of earth, earthing or grounding. Earth is an infinite reservoir. So what earth will do? Earth will transfer some electrons onto this metal plate. Hence this entire positive charge gets neutralized. So once you connect this plate to the ground, the entire positive charge disappears here. So only the influence of positive charge is removed. The negative charge influence will help the deposition of additional charge onto this metal plate. So finally capacity gets increased. So 2 steps I told you. To increase the capacitance of this metal plate, introduce a neutral plate very nearer to that and ground it with a conductor as shown in figure. Still, if you want to increase the capacitance, we need to use some another dielectric medium in between the plates that we will discuss in the next session. So what is the principle of capacitor? What is the principle of capacitor? Principle of capacitor. The principle involved in the capacitor is like this, what we discussed here. To increase the capacitance of a conductor, we need to introduce a similar neutral conductor very near to that. And it should be grounded such that additional amount of charge can be held by the conductor. This is called principle of capacitor. So what is the capacitance of this capacitor? Let us understand. In order to calculate the capacitance, what is the formula? Capacitance of a capacitor is calculated by C is equal to Q by V as we discussed. What are the units? Farads. Farads are the units for capacitance. Generally, farad is a very big unit. That's why in practical usage, capacitance can be represented in either microfarad or picofarad. 1 microfarad means 10 power minus 6 farads. 1 picofarad means 10 power minus 12 farads. Sometimes we may use nanofarad also. Nano means 10 power minus 9 farad. 1 farad means a very big value. General capacitors are having capacity like microfarad or picofarad or nanofarad. Now let us discuss what is the capacitance of this capacitor, any expression for that, and what are the different types of capacitors in this coming session. What are the different types of capacitors? Depending on the nature of plates used in the designing of capacitor, capacitors are divided into parallel plate capacitors, cylindrical capacitors, and spherical capacitors. Here we are using 2 parallel plates. So the name of this capacitor is a parallel plate capacitor. I want to derive an expression for capacitance of this capacitor. But here one point you should remember. Capacity will depend on which factors? Capacity depends on the shape and size of the plates you are using, the separation between the plates, and the medium which is separating the plates. So capacitance depends on first one, size and shape of plates. It depends on separation between the plates. The third one, medium between the plates. You may ask me, sir, how do you know capacitance depends on only the size and shape of the plates, the separation between the plates, medium between the plates? To understand this, let us derive expression for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Based on that expression, we will discuss how the capacity of a capacitor depends on the factors what I mentioned over there. So what is the discussion? Now we are going to discuss about capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 plates. Each plate is having area A. Each plate is having area A. And both the plates are separated by a separation D. Both the plates are separated by a separation D. And you are giving certain charge onto the first plate. The second plate is getting negative charge, and we are grounding the second plate such that no positive charge is induced on the other side of second plate. Now I would like to find the expression for capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor. In order to find the capacitance here, let me take a point. At this point, we have an electric field. Generally, lines of force will go from positive charge to negative charge like this. And all the lines of force are parallel to each other. Hence, the field is uniform field. At any point nearer to the or in the vicinity of a particular plate, the strength of electric field. What do you mean by strength of electric field? Force experienced by unit positive charge. So it will be in this direction. If you keep 1 unit positive charge here, it will experience a force in the downward direction. The same positive charge will get attracted by the negative plate here. So electric field at this point because of this plate and because of this plate. E net is equal to E1 plus E2. E1 is the electric field strength due to the first plate, E2 is the electric field strength due to the second plate. You know that E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Charge is residing on only one side. Hence, we are taking sigma by epsilon naught. Similarly, charge residing here is sigma by epsilon naught. But here we have positive charge, here we have negative charge density. So, we need to add these two. So, finally, what will happen? This is on right hand side, this is on the left hand side. Again, you have to keep minus here. So, finally, sigma by epsilon naught plus sigma by epsilon naught. That is 2 sigma by epsilon naught. What is the formula for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor? That can be derived according to this derivation. Actually, you are getting positive charge here, so both sides charge is available, therefore you should take 2 epsilon naught here. It is better to take 2 epsilon naught here. So finally it becomes sigma by epsilon naught. So net electric field is given by sigma by epsilon naught. You know that sigma is equal to charge residing per unit area. Q is the charge available here. A is the area of each plate. So surface charge density of this plate is Q by A. Hence E is equal to Q by A epsilon naught. Already you know that the relationship between electric field and the potential difference between the plates, E is equal to V by D. So this is equation number 1. This is according to the definition of electric field. If you compare these two, Q by A epsilon naught is equal to V by D. Q by V we want A epsilon naught by D. Already we defined the capacitance as charge stored for getting unit potential difference. So it is C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. This is the formula for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. Clearly, C is directly proportional to area of each plate, C proportional to area of each plate, C proportional to the inversely proportional to the separation between the plates, and C also proportional to epsilon naught. So capacitance of a capacitor depends on the area of each plate, separation between the two plates, and also it depends on the medium available between the two plates. So these are the factors that are influencing the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now let us understand some another capacitor. As the plates are parallel to each other, this capacitor is called parallel plate capacitor. All of you remember this formula, epsilon naught A by D. Very useful for doing problems related to this capacitor. Now, let us discuss another capacitor called spherical capacitor. Second kind of capacitor we are going to discuss is capacitance of spherical capacitor. If the two plates of a capacitor are in spherical shape like this, such a capacitor is called spherical capacitor. If the inner plate is given positive charge, obviously the outer plate inside part will get negative charge. Let A is the radius of inner sphere, B is the radius of outer sphere. As we know the principle of capacitor, we need to ground the outer sphere. I would like to find the capacitance of this spherical capacitor. How to find? You know that capacitance is defined as charge available by potential developed. Let Q is the charge given to the inner sphere of radius A. What is the potential developed on its surface? Let VA is the potential on the surface of inner sphere. VB is the potential on the surface of outer sphere. So potential at the surface of the inner sphere is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A. As Q is the charge available, A is the radius of this sphere. Potential on inner surface is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by A. Similarly, potential on the outer sphere is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by B. The potential difference is equal to, which is greater? As radius is less here, potential is greater, VA minus VB, that is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught A minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught B. Now, potential difference capital V is equal to, let me take potential difference as V. Who is common here? Q by 4 pi epsilon naught is common, 1 by A minus 1 by B. Or you can write V is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, AB is LCM, B minus A. If you take this V that side, Q by V is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A. Q by V is called capacitance. Hence, capacitance of a spherical capacitor is given by 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A. Very, very important formula. Already we discussed parallel plate capacitor. In case of parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by epsilon naught A by D. In case of spherical capacitor, the capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A. What is A? Radius of inner sphere. What is B? Radius of outer sphere. In case we have an isolated sphere, isolated sphere means a single sphere is available whose radius is A. Charge available on this is given by Q. Q is the charge available. What is the capacitance of this isolated sphere? Here, if you observe the outer sphere, if it is having infinite radius, that means when B tends to infinity, only we are having the inner sphere called isolated sphere. When you keep B value infinity here, what will happen? 1 by infinity becomes 0. So this term will go. So potential is given by, potential on the surface of this is given by Q by 4 pi epsilon naught A. So capacitance is given by C is equal to Q by V. That means simply 4 pi epsilon naught A. 4 pi epsilon naught A is the formula for capacitance of a isolated sphere. Isolated sphere means a single sphere. So this is the second idea. Already we discussed the definition of capacitor, what is the use of capacitor, on which factors capacity is depends, and we derived formula for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor as well as spherical capacitor and also isolated sphere. In this connection, we will discuss one more concept. How to increase the capacity? Already I told you, to increase the capacity, we need to introduce additional plate, and we should connect the other plate to the ground. Apart from these two, one more thing we may do. So these are the two plates. This plate is provided with charge Q. Other plate, it is grounded like this. Its capacitance is given by C is equal to epsilon naught A by D, or simply C is equal to Q by V. What is V? Potential difference between the two plates. Still, if I want to increase the capacitance, what I have to do? I need to replace the space between the two plates with the help of a dielectric medium. If I introduce a dielectric medium like this, what will happen? As we discussed in the earlier case, dielectrics are of two types, polar dielectrics and non-polar dielectrics. Whenever we introduce a dielectric slab in between the plates, polarization takes place. So dipoles gets created such that negative charge center is shifted towards positive plate and positive charged center is shifted towards negative plate. So due to this polarization, what will happen? Due to this polarization, original electric field is like this. One more electric field got developed here, that is called induced electric field. Induced electric field is developed opposite to the original electric field. So net electric field value becomes E minus E induced. You know that E is equal to V by D. I am not going to change the separation between the plates. The separation between the plates is fixed. So as I decreased electric field value, electric potential also got decreased. When electric potential got decreased, capacitance got increased. So due to the introduction of a dielectric slab, what it is? Dielectric slab. Dielectric slab means non-conducting material. So whenever we keep a dielectric slab in between the two plates, polarization of dipoles takes place, leads to the development of induced electric field, which is in opposite direction to the applied electric field. So net electric field value gets decreased. Net potential difference between the two plates gets decreased. Hence capacity gets increased. So this is the way we follow to increase the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. How many times it will get increased? Obviously, whenever the plates separation, entire separation is filled with dielectric slab, entire separation between the plates filled with dielectric slab of dielectric constant K. You know that dielectric constant is defined as epsilon by epsilon naught, which is also called relative permittivity. So what will happen whenever you fill this is given positive charge plus Q, obviously minus Q is developed here, it is grounded. All conditions are similar. Separation is D. What is the capacitance of this capacitor? So So capacitance is given by epsilon naught A by D in case free space is available between the two plates. Instead of free space, I kept a dielectric slab. So this dielectric slab is having permittivity epsilon. Then capacitance is given by epsilon A by D. Area of the plates did not change. Separation between the plates did not change. Only medium I changed. Earlier permittivity of the medium is epsilon naught. Now the permittivity is epsilon. We know that epsilon can be replaced with K epsilon naught. So the new capacitance is given by K epsilon naught A by D. So new capacitance is K times the capacitance of the same capacitor with the free space as medium between the two plates. Capacitance got increased by K times. Capacitance got increased by K times. So this is the important part you should remember. How to increase the capacitance of a capacitor? To increase the capacitance of a capacitor, we should fill the medium between the two plates with a dielectric medium whose dielectric constant is K. Then capacitance got increased by K times. Then capacitance got increased by K times. Instead of filling the entire medium with dielectric slab, if I fill partially, what will happen to the capacitance? Let us calculate. What is the next concept? Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with partially filled dielectric slab. Capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with partially filled dielectric slab. Now let us see the capacitance. Here is a parallel plate capacitor. Each plate is having area A. Separation between the plates is D. Now this separation is partially filled with a dielectric slab of thickness T. The thickness of the slab is T. This dielectric slab is having dielectric constant K. This dielectric slab is having dielectric constant K. If you observe clearly, the separation between the two plates is provided with the two media. One is dielectric medium, another one is free space. So T is the thickness of dielectric medium. D minus T is free space between the plates. Already we calculated electric field. What is electric field? In the vicinity of a charged plate, the electric field is given by E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Actually sigma by 2 epsilon naught because of this plate. Because of this plate again sigma by 2 epsilon naught. By combining these two, net electric field is given by sigma by epsilon naught. It is in free space. Hence I am writing it as E naught. What is E naught? Electric field in free space. Electric field in space. Inside the electric field is given by E. E is given by sigma by epsilon we should take. Already we know that K is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. So I can replace epsilon with k epsilon naught. So E is equal to sigma by k epsilon naught. As we know, sigma is equal to Q by A. E can be written as Q by, already K is there, A epsilon naught. I want potential difference between the plates. You know that E is equal to V by D. So V is equal to ED. So here V is potential difference between the plates. Electric field strength into the separation. E naught is the electric field available over D minus T distance. E is the electric field available over T distance. The potential difference between the two plates is a sum of potential difference due to the air medium, potential difference due to the dielectric medium. Potential difference due to the air medium is given by electric field in air into the thickness of air medium, and potential difference due to the dielectric is given by electric field due to the dielectric into thickness of dielectric. So if you simplify this, the net potential difference V is equal to, let me substitute, so you can write it as Q by A epsilon naught, because sigma is equal to Q by A. So Q by Q into D minus T by A epsilon naught plus Q by K A epsilon naught into T. So if I take common, Q by A epsilon naught is common, D minus T plus T by K. This is the value of potential difference. Let me write the continuation here. Potential difference V is given by Q by A epsilon naught into D minus T into, otherwise you take T as common, so 1 by K minus 1. Then Q by V is given by A epsilon naught by D plus T into 1 by K minus 1. Q by V itself is called capacitance. So finally, capacitance is given by epsilon naught A by D. Otherwise, if you take minus common here, D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. Let us check whether this formula is correct or not. If I take the entire separation between the two plates with the dielectric slab of dielectric constant K, what will happen? Then T becomes D. In the place of T, if I keep D, then on expansion D minus D plus D by K. So finally K A epsilon naught by D. The old formula has come. So this is the derivation part for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, which is partially filled with a dielectric of dielectric constant K having thickness T. So finally, let us conclude today's session. What are the ideas we discussed and what are the new formula we came across? Let us see once again as a revision. So the charge holding capability of a conductor is called its capacity. Capacitance is defined as charge stored by potential developed. This is the first formula we discussed. The capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor is epsilon naught A by D. This is the second formula we discussed. The same capacitor is completely filled with the dielectric of dielectric constant. The capacitance becomes K epsilon naught A by D. That is, new capacitance is K times of old capacitance. The same parallel plate capacitor, which is partially filled with dielectric, can have capacitance epsilon naught A by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. In case of spherical capacitor, the capacitance is given by C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A. In case of isolated sphere, the capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon naught A. So these are the formulas from today's discussion, and we have to go through the applications on the by applying these formulae. What is the purpose of capacitor? Capacitor is used to provide instantaneous energy to start the motion of a motor against the inertia. So to provide that instant energy, we need to store the electrostatic energy inside the capacitor. So the charge holding capability is called its capacity. Capacitors are also known as condensers. The capacitance can have units farads, which is defined as charge per potential, charge divided by potential developed. This is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor completely filled with air medium or free space as medium. If it is filled with dielectric medium, capacity increases by K times. If it is partially filled with dielectric of thickness T, the capacitance is given by this. In case of spherical capacitors, the capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon naught AB by B minus A. In case of isolated sphere, the capacitance is given by 4 pi epsilon naught A. So I hope you understood the ideas of today's class. All of you should go through the textbook, read the concept and the principle of capacitor, and go through these derivations. Try to memorize those formulae such that we can do the applications in the next session. Thank you.